My name is Maylam Wangdi. I am in grade 8 and I study in ELC High School. I want you to imagine being in isolation for 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. Hard to imagine doing it yourself, right? My Aja, Katasitu Rinpoche, went into retreat 25 years ago, but it didn't go as smoothly as you think it would have. Katasitu wore Buddhist robes, which are in shades of red. He traveled by a horse with a few of his followers to drop him. The location where he went was Bailangdra, which is an hour's drive from Wangdi. But I'm not talking about the modern Bailangdra that you might be picturing in your head. Bailangdra back then had no roads constructed, so he had to travel either by foot or by animal transport. Forests dominated the entire area, so apart from a few traditional houses, one temple, and some vegetarian cats, your only company would be nature. Katasitu Rinpoche had chosen this place because it has a very special connection with his root guru, Drajal Rinpoche. In addition to that, it is a very sacred place as it is one of the places where Guru Rinpoche had visited and blessed. Guru Rinpoche himself had planted his walking stick into the ground and it grew to be a humongous cypress tree, said to be the biggest cypress tree in the world. After Guru Rinpoche discovered many therma, holy treasures, he transcended into a rainbow. Let's head back to the story. At first, Katasitu wasn't very anxious. He chatted with his followers happily. By the time they arrived at his destination, dusk had arrived. He bid his followers farewell and he began his 3-year retreat alone. Katasitu had to live in a small makeshift hut, which was just above the one temple Bailangdra had. The hut consisted of only one main room and one small built-in bathroom. You might be wondering, where did he sleep? Where did he eat? Where did he meditate? Well, to answer those, all of them took place in the same main room. His diet was very basic, rice and datsi and vegetables that were grown in Bailangdra. Nobody could see my Aja, so there was a bamboo fence that circled around the makeshift hut. The air carried the fresh scent of rain, sap and soil. It was perfect if you wanted to escape the bustling town of Thimphu. The area was especially peaceful during broad daylight. It was simple but beautiful. At this point, you may think that my Aja would have been at peace and had felt blessed to be there. Though, in the beginning, it all felt very new to him, as it was the first time in his life where he had been left completely alone. It dawned on him that he had to stay for 3 whole years. There was no electricity provided, so it was pitch black during evenings. Not to mention there wasn't any technology present where he was, so there were no forms of communication. And even if there was, he wouldn't even be allowed to use it. He missed everything he had before very much. Even as a Rinpoche, it must have been hard to be in sudden isolation away from your loved ones. How am I going to endure this for so long? Katasitu pondered to himself. He felt taken aback. A week felt like forever, but at last my Aja got used to his new environment. In fact, he actually started to enjoy it. His meditations and prayers were undisturbed and he could focus more on himself. His meals meant more to him, so he savored it better. The breezes felt fresher and the leaves rustling sounded clear. He loved it. Fast forward to 3 years later. Katasitu Rinpoche finally came out of his retreat. If you were there to witness his arrival back, you'd see him with waist-long unbrushed hair. You'd also notice that he had lost a lot of weight. It wasn't only his physical appearance that changed though. He became more resilient and focused to everything that happened around him. Listening to my Aja Rinpoche tell me this, I asked him, why did he go to retreat? He replied that there were various reasons, but the main reason was to gain merit. If there were to be a moral of this story, I'd say that it would be, fear it or not, you never know unless you try it. Thank you, La.